Hello everybody. Happy May the 4th. So, you know, as it is May the 4th, Star Wars Day, I thought, what could be more appropriate than this in this video? So I'm going to be ranking every Star Wars movie. So, there's 11 movies here, so I am including the two spin-offs, Solo and Rogue One. And yeah, I am a Star Wars fan. I don't think I've ever talked about Star Wars on my YouTube channel before, but I am a Star Wars fan, actually. I love them. I had them on VHS originally, the original trilogy and the prequels. And I did see the newer ones when they came out, so before I start this, I actually don't dislike any Star Wars films. I know a lot of fans do tend to really hate on the newer Star Wars films, the ones that were made by Disney. But to tell the truth, I love them. I don't hate them at all. I love them. And I love all the Star Wars movies, to be honest with you. So even the one at the bottom of my list, I still enjoy. So number 11, at the bottom of the list, is Solo, or the full title, Solo: A Star Wars Story. It's a good film. I liked it when it came out. It's basically Han Solo's origin story. And the guy who played Han Solo, Alden, I like the guy. I mean, he's nowhere near as great as Harrison Ford, but man, he did a good job. Woody Harrelson's also in this film. I think I liked his character a lot. And you've also got Donald Glover as well. Donald Glover plays the young Lando Calrissian. So yeah, good origin story, and I like the Darth Maul cameo in here. Because apparently this takes place after the events of the Phantom Menace, which means that Darth Maul actually survived the fall at the end of Phantom Menace. When Obi-Wan cut him in half with a lightsaber and he falls down the shaft. Apparently he survived that. That's confirmed in here. But yeah, I enjoyed this film. I don't watch it as much as other Star Wars films, but I do enjoy this one quite a lot. I did see this when it came out. And number 10 is Rogue One. So this is a prequel to A New Hope, but it's also a sequel to Revenge of the Sith. And I enjoyed this one. So yeah, Darth Vader's in this one, so it's brilliant to see him in the film. I do have a few issues though. I mean, Grand Moff Tarkin appears in this movie, right? And rather than just get a different actor to play him, they did a CGI version of Peter Cushing, which, I mean, yeah, he looked good, great. It looked like Peter Cushing, but the voice, they got somebody to do a voiceover. He just didn't sound like Peter Cushing at all. He's basically trying to sound like him, but that didn't work for me. I feel maybe they could have just gotten a different actor to play him altogether, to be honest. As much as I absolutely love Peter Cushing, I'm a huge Cushing fan, but yeah, I just don't think it was the right thing to do, trying to replicate such a fabulous actor. But yeah, I did enjoy this one. Again, I saw this in cinemas and I thought it was good. But it's never been a favourite of mine. I don't watch it as much as others. So yeah, that's why it's number 10. And number 9 is The Last Jedi. I enjoyed this. You know, some call this the worst Star Wars film. I don't think it's that bad at all. I mean, even though I have ranked it quite low, doesn't mean I dislike it. I actually did enjoy this one, but I think it is my least favourite out of the sequel trilogy, you know, with Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker. This is my least favourite out of those 3, but I still enjoyed this a lot. It's good to see Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker again, although you know, I didn't like how he was, I mean, not killed off. I mean, because he still lived on as a Force ghost, obviously, but I mean, yeah, it's not a perfect film by any means, but I enjoy it, and I actually do like Kylo Ren. I mean, some see him as a Darth Vader wannabe, but while he may be similar to Darth Vader, I think he's a fantastic character in his own right. You know, that's just my opinion. I enjoy him as a character, and I did enjoy this film. So that's number 9. Number 8 is Attack of the Clones. So I have it on this 3-disc set where it also comes with Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith. Attack of the Clones, you know, great film. I love it, but it is my least favourite of the prequels. But, you know, I personally didn't mind Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. I think he did a fine job, really. Ewan McGregor was brilliant as the younger version of Obi-Wan. And you also got Christopher Lee as Count Dooku, you know, because obviously Peter Cushing had played Grand Moff Tarkin in the original film. And then you have Christopher Lee as Count Dooku, so it means they've both appeared in Star Wars, but unfortunately not together. But it would have been good. But yeah, I enjoy this one, but there's not really much more I can say about it, to be honest. So that was number 8. For number 7, I went with The Phantom Menace, which is also on this set here. I love The Phantom Menace. I think personally, I do think it is getting more appreciation now than before, because, you know, at the time it was released, I think most Star Wars fans hated it. But I think it was just the prequels. I think Star Wars fans hated the prequels at first, but I do think now they're gaining a lot more appreciation. And I think that's a good thing. You know, I actually had no issue with the prequels. I just enjoy them. And I enjoyed The Phantom Menace. You know, you have Liam Neeson in the film as Qui-Gon Jinn, who I really liked Qui-Gon Jinn as a character. I think they made a mistake in killing him off at the end of the film, though. Like, I actually would have liked to have seen him, like, appear in the whole prequel trilogy. But yeah, they killed him off at the end, which, yeah, it's sad, really. I liked him as a character. Darth Maul as well, you know, he was a great villain. But unfortunately, they just didn't give him much to do, you know. I think they wasted such a great villain. You know, it would have been good to see him in all 3 of these. And you got the younger Anakin Skywalker in here. Some people find the young Anakin annoying. I suppose I do find him a bit annoying, I guess, but not annoying to the point where I want to bash my head against the wall. And no, I don't find him that annoying, just a little bit. But yeah, I enjoyed The Phantom Menace. You got Jar Jar Binks as well. I think a lot of people hate Jar Jar Binks. I personally like Jar Jar. I think he's funny, to be honest. So yeah, that's number 7. Yeah, it's number 7. Number 6. Most people will probably rank this one higher, but number 6 I went with Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is without a doubt the best film in the prequel trilogy. It's just superb. And this is the one where Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader. It's quite a sad ending as well, but if you've seen the original trilogy, then you kind of know that it's coming anyway. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed all the prequels, but Revenge of the Sith is it's amazing. And yeah, and I really do enjoy Samuel L. Jackson. He appeared in these as well as Mace Windu. Great character, and it's sad that they killed him off in this one, because he was such a great character. But yeah, I do. Yeah, I love Revenge of the Sith so much. So it's number 6. I could have put it higher. I could have put it in the top 5, but there's just 5 others that I happen to like just a bit more. Now, my top 5 is gonna shock you. I guarantee it, because, and yes, you can disagree, but I must ask you all to disagree respectfully, because I do know for a fact that the Star Wars fandom is notorious for being toxic. Apparently that's, well, I don't know if it's a fact, but apparently it's true. And so yeah, I don't want any negative comments about where I've ranked these next few. But number 5, I went with The Force Awakens. Hear me out. I went to go and see Force Awakens when it first came out in 2015, and I loved it. Yeah, some fans may have been disappointed, but I absolutely loved this, and loved it so much I went to see it twice. Just such an amazing film. I think I saw all of these twice. Rogue One I saw twice. I saw Solo in the cinemas twice. Last Jedi I watched twice, and Rise of Skywalker as well. I watched them when they were on the cinema. I watched them twice. But this one, I just loved it. I mean, yeah, there was a few issues, like Han Solo gets killed off, which, yeah, that kind of, I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, they probably shouldn't have offed him the way they did. I mean, if they were going to kill off Han Solo, they could have at least kept him alive until the end of the trilogy. But killing him off in the first film in this trilogy, just, I don't know if I can forgive that. But I really loved this film, though. And I know there's a lot of Star Wars fans who hate this, but yeah, I don't want any negative comments towards me just because I've ranked this one high, just because I think very highly of this film. We all see things differently. While many people do hate these newer Star Wars films, at the end of the day, it's subjective. And I do believe that, like the prequels, they were hated at the time, but I think now they're actually getting a lot of appreciation. And I do believe the same thing will happen with the sequel trilogy, years to come. I believe that, they will gain more love and appreciation. I hope that happens. Number 4, I went with Rise of Skywalker. I think that this was my favourite of the sequel trilogy. Just just a great finale. You know, it's good to see Billy D. Williams reprising his role as Lando Calrissian again. And what I was so impressed with, they didn't kill him off. I was actually worried that they were going to kill him off, but they didn't. He actually lived. But yeah, unfortunately, Princess Leia does die in this one, so that means those three original heroes are all gone now. But I did like the Han Solo cameo in here. He appears, but he's not actually alive. He appears as an illusion to Kylo Ren. And I like that Kylo Ren does find redemption in this film, but it's sad that they killed him off. I wish they kept him alive at the end. But yeah, I do love Rise of Skywalker, and yeah, I was impressed when this came out. I personally loved it. So it's number 4. So number 3, I went with A New Hope, or well, it was originally just called Star Wars. It's the original film, but of course, when the prequels came out, it was retitled Episode 4: New Hope. So yeah, the one that started it all. I don't really need to say much about it. It's a classic. It's a masterpiece. It's fabulous. But yeah, I do enjoy Alec Guinness as the original Obi-Wan, and you've got Peter Cushing as Grand Moff Tarkin. Now, apparently, I don't know if this is true, apparently Peter Cushing was originally going to play Obi-Wan instead, and apparently they wanted Christopher Lee to play Grand Moff Tarkin, so that would have been good to see them in the film together, but I don't know how true that is. It could just be a rumour, but you know, it still turned out fantastically. I'm personally not really a big fan of the edited version, because on this DVD set they're not the original versions of how they were originally released. They've got like extra scenes added, and of course George Lucas did that so to tie them in with the prequels. Personally, I don't think he needed to do that. I think he should have just left them as they were. Because the only way you can watch those original versions of how they were is to buy the VHS tapes. So that's kind of why I wish I'd kept my VHS copies of these. Now I did have the trilogy, the box set, but yeah, I don't have anything to play them on. I haven't had a VHS player for about 6 years now. But you know, if they ever do release them like that, you know, if they ever release those on DVD, you know, in their original form, you know, I'd be well pleased. But yeah, so that's number 3 is New Hope. Number 2, I went with The Empire Strikes Back, and great sequel. I mean, New Hope is great, but I actually do like the sequels just a bit more. But yeah, New Hope is great. You got Yoda is introduced in this one, and Lando Calrissian, and we do get a small cameo from the Emperor, but he'd have a bigger role in the next film. But yeah, I'm not saying much about it because I don't know if I can say anything about it that hasn't been said already. You know, everybody knows The Empire Strikes Back. And then, if you know the Star Wars franchise well, then you'll know what my number 1 is. It's Return of the Jedi. Yeah, Return of the Jedi is probably always been my favourite Star Wars film. You know, it's a great finale, you know. But in this one, the Emperor is really the main villain. Darth Vader's more of a secondary antagonist, but it's great that he finds his redemption in the end. But it's sad that he died. You know, it's sad that he died at the end, but yeah, fantastic. You got the Ewoks as well. I love the Ewoks. And yeah, what I mentioned a few minutes ago, you know, how these were edited to tie in with the prequels. Well, the ending of Return of the Jedi on this version that's like very noticeable, because when you see the ghosts at the end of Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Anakin, in the original version it was Anakin. Anakin looked as he did. He was an old man. Because that's what he was when he died. But in the edited version, they used CGI, and they added, I think it was CGI anyway, they added Hayden Christensen. They did that time with the prequels, but it doesn't make sense because that's Hayden Christensen. He played Anakin Skywalker when he was a young man. But I just wish that they kept Sebastian Shaw, who played Anakin when he was an old man. When he takes his mask off at the end, that's Sebastian Shaw who plays the elderly Anakin. I just wish they'd left it as it was. That kind of did screw it up a bit. But yeah, Return of the Jedi is a classic. Apparently it wasn't well received at the time. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's definitely become a classic. And I also have heard that Harrison Ford wanted George Lucas to kill off Han Solo in this film, but he refused. But I'm glad that he refused. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this ranking, and let me know what you think, and feel free to give your ranking in the comments. But yeah, just please be civil about this, because I know some people in the Star Wars fandom can be toxic, especially when it comes to the Disney Star Wars films. But I happen to regard them very highly, so, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with loving these films, because I do. I love them all. Yeah, I will see you again very soon. Take care.